Have you ever felt like you're literally wrestling with an AI just to get the results you want? Yeah, you're not alone. Today, we're going to dive into a technique that'll totally change the game for you. Prompt chaining. It's really the secret to going from frustrating one-off questions to building these powerful, super reliable AI workflows.
I'm sure you've been there, right? You write this really long, super detailed prompt. You're asking the AI to analyze a report, pull out the key trends, find some specific data, and then draft an email about it. And what you get back is just a mess. It might do one part kind of well, but it completely ignores or just messes up the rest.
Well, there's actually a name for this. It's called the monolithic prompt problem. It's what happens when we try to cram way too many instructions into a single request. And, it turns out there are some very specific reasons why this whole approach is just so unreliable. Honestly, this slide shows you the 4 horsemen of the monolithic prompt apocalypse. First, you've got instruction neglect. The AI literally just skips parts of what you ask because it's overwhelmed. Then there's context drift, where it starts out okay, but then it gets lost and totally forgets what the main goal was. Error propagation is a really nasty one. A tiny little mistake at the very beginning just snowballs into a huge disaster by the end. And finally, hallucination. When you ask for too much at once, the AI's cognitive load goes way up, and it becomes much more likely to just make stuff up.
Yeah, and this really captures the chaos, doesn't it? You would never walk up to a coworker, say a multi-step project, in one single, rushed sentence, and expect them to get it perfect. No way. You'd break it down for them. So why in the world do we expect an AI to handle that kind of cognitive overload?
So if the problem is asking for too much at once, the solution is, well, it's beautifully simple. It's a classic divide and conquer strategy. And in the world of AI, we call it prompt chaining. The whole idea is really straightforward. Instead of taking one giant risky leap, we're going to take a series of small, confident steps. We solve one little piece of the puzzle, and its output becomes the input for the very next step. It's just a clean, logical, and sequential workflow.
And this diagram just lays it all out perfectly. The user's request gets split up. Prompt 1 goes to Agent 1, which makes an output. That output then becomes the input for Prompt 2 and Agent 2, and so on until you get to that final, complete result. Each step just builds on the one before it.
Okay, so that's the theory, but what does this actually look like in practice? Let's walk through a real-world example to see it in action.
So let's go back to that original problem we had. Instead of that one huge monolithic prompt, we create a simple 3-step chain. Step 1, a prompt that only asks the AI to summarize the report. Nothing else. Step 2, a prompt that takes that summary and only asks it to identify the trends. And then finally, Step 3, a prompt that uses those trends to draft the email. See? Each step is focused, it's simple, and it's way, way more reliable.
Okay, but wait a minute. This is a really critical question, because if the output from step 1 is a mess, then step 2 is guaranteed to fail. So how do we make absolutely sure that the information gets passed between the steps cleanly and accurately?
And the answer is structured output. You basically force the AI to stop rambling. Instead of getting back a messy paragraph, you demand that it formats its response in a clean, machine-readable format, something like JSON. This just gets rid of all the ambiguity.
So check this out. The output from our trend spotting step isn't just a blob of text anymore. It's this perfectly organized JSON object. The next prompt in the chain knows exactly where to find the trend name and the supporting data. There's no guesswork at all. This makes the entire workflow incredibly robust.
And listen, this isn't just some neat little trick for summarizing reports. This one technique unlocks a massive range of powerful, real-world applications.
Seriously, the possibilities are huge. You could build content pipelines that outline, then draft, and then revise articles. You could create conversational agents that actually remember the history of a chat. You can even build systems that analyze an image, extract the text from it, and then reason about that data, all using the same core pattern of chained prompts.
Code generation is just a fantastic example. A single prompt to write a function might give you something buggy or incomplete. But a chained approach, one that first generates pseudocode, then writes a draft, then self-corrects for errors, and finally adds the documentation, now that's how you get high-quality, reliable code every time.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Prompt chaining is an absolute game changer, but it's actually just one piece of a much bigger puzzle, a discipline that's completely changing how we build intelligent systems.
And that discipline is called context engineering. It's the art and science of giving an AI all the relevant information it needs before it even starts a task.
And you can see from this diagram, prompt engineering is just one piece of it. It works together with structured outputs, which we just talked about, and other really powerful techniques like RAG and memory.
Think of it this way. It's not just about asking a better question. It's about building a better world for the AI to operate in. We're literally surrounding it with everything it needs: the system instructions, relevant documents, data from other tools. All of that is provided before it even begins to think about the answer.
So, to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways here? First, divide and conquer. Always break down your complex tasks. Second, remember this dramatically improves reliability. Third, create a clear chain of command, passing clean, structured data between your steps. And finally, and this is the big one, understand that this isn't just a clever trick. It's the fundamental foundation for building truly intelligent AI agents.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Mastering this one pattern is what separates basic AI interaction from the development of truly robust, context-aware systems that can tackle unbelievably complex problems. It really makes you think, though. We're just scratching the surface with these simple, linear chains. As these workflows get more and more complex, more dynamic, the real question is, what incredible things are the AI agents of tomorrow going to be able to build?